In this exhibition there are some new types of works, and I've given them a series name, and I've called them How to Save the World, with a bit of tongue-in-cheek. I've had a fairly consistent reputation, albeit quite some time ago in my mind, of being a bush painter and painting the subject matter of the outback and my reflections upon those experiences. However, I actually left my outback life some 8 years ago and moved overseas, and one of the reasons was I was terribly frustrated with being pigeonholed as a bush painter, and I started to sort of look into other subject matters and became deeply interested in more so the psychology of human beings rather than just focusing on technique and the surrounds. So it was more about how we approach our subject matter. So this body of work is focused on city subjects, and it's really just one of my little psychological self-applications. I'm always trying to sort out the conflicts in my head, and it's using the feelings of frustration and annoyance that I have, or started to really feel after living in the city, and actually the city of Perth, for 2 years. And it started to overwhelm me, and I was having the urge to go back to the bush, and I thought, oh no. So what I did is driving down the road one day, I think it was Stock Road, going towards some other great intersection, and I saw things just a little bit differently in a big, quick hurry. And I thought, I can't live with this conflict. I've actually got to stay here. My kids are in school, they're going well. It's all about them. It's not just about me. It's not just about me picking up my swag and running off anymore. I actually have to stay here for the sake of other people. Wonderful for a narcissistic artist to have to deal with that. It helps to develop us. So I started to see the subject matter around me as an opportunity. Traffic lights, traffic, chaos, crisis, colours, overcrowding, pollution, everything that makes up a city. I started to see it in a certain way, knowing that basically everything is organic, even all these things that we don't like. I suddenly saw how to approach the subject of the city with a completely different attitude, and it was pretty much that of love. Haha. So instead of being angry, judgmental and critical, I thought I would change the attitude into one of embracing and knowing that I was pretty much nothing without all of these things around me. As Thomas Merton said, no man is an island. And by using that approach in the studio, and even the feeling of resolving conflict, what I was having as a bit of an artist block completely opened up, and a whole lot of imagery and colour came back into my work. Some of the subjects that came to mind of using this approach were things like, things that even I was obsessed by. Oh, I can't get it out of my mind. What is the perfect house? That's all you think about. What is the perfect car? Should I buy a Lexus? Should I buy an Audi? Should I buy a Ford? Should I get a modern house? Should it have 4 bedrooms? And all these obsessions. And I found myself living in the city, just falling into it. And so I thought, okay, let's celebrate that. I would have this thing where I'd get really angry about it. I'd think, oh, stop it. So then I thought, no, I'll do it from a perspective of energy. So hence I painted a house plan, which is really sort of a naive perspective where I've symbolised and animalised all the different figures and ideas within a house instead of being so specific. And then looking at the city and some beautiful cityscapes, photographs I was taking, and I was going into the city with this completely different perspective, standing up at Kings Park and saying, you know, towers of buildings beside a slippery, snaky road going through the middle. I wanted to take the city, the hardness, the industrial part of our living, and turn it into an animal, if you like, or have some animal aspect. So we look through a cityscape and we go steps so carefully through the cleavage, as if we're stepping through two great breaths or something. So here we go. I've got an underpainting there, and now I'm going to disturb it with some sort of figure or psychological positioning. So the painting itself, I've just really done what you'd say is the underpainting for a classic background of the city, but this is really only the very foundational thing. It's like creating, when you're building a house, you've got to actually get your foundations there first. Because I've already come up with the feeling about this painting, which was step carefully in the cleavage, the idea is that I can see something going on through here, and I'm going to actually bring it all in as part of the pattern and colour to make it come alive. One of the things in my more iconic classic outbacky paintings, where I used the backdrop of the bush and the harsh dark colours, or beautiful colours, was that I picked up fairly quickly that I think one of the reasons I've had quite a lot of success as a painter is because I noted earlier on in my painting career that works always seemed to sell or be popular if they had some sort of animal or human activity in them. When we just did, it doesn't work for everyone. Perhaps I'm a poor landscape painter, but I just found that there was this communication between the viewer and the work through the dialogue of the character, be it an animal or a human being. And perhaps it was my imagination, but I've stayed with that because it seems to me to be the point for me to be doing as an artist. So for me to just leave that as a cityscape it's not for me. That wouldn't be my work. It would be a lovely work for somebody else, but it wouldn't satisfy me. I am not really comfortable, because I'm a human being painting this, until I actually create some sort of relationship between myself, the viewer, and the landscape.